Trailblazers, we are here with our first Kids Talk of the year. We will be discussing this wonderful book called Dinosaur Boy, and you can see it actually on the screen there. It was a wonderful book. Let's go ahead and introduce, thank you, Mrs. Keltner, for being here.
Yes, I love this. This is fun. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and introduce our panel over here. If you could tell us who you are and whose class you're representing. We'll start in the top row with Devin.
I'm Devin Huber, and I'm from Miss Alexander's 5th grade class. I'm Kinsley Level, and I'm from Miss Bird's 4th grade class. I'm Blair Brooks, and I'm from Miss Keaton's 4th grade class.
I am Sadler Clifford, and I am from Miss Keaton's 4th grade class.
I am Jackson Beater from Mrs. Colkey's 3rd grade class.
I'm Brian Pierce from Miss Strange's 5th grade class.
I'm Julie Cosenza from Miss Alexander's 5th grade class. I'm Emily Pierce from Miss Alexander's 5th grade class.
Nice. Great.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We have quite a representative over there. And Jackson, are you the only 3rd grader here?
Maybe.
Okay.
Representing third
Okay.
grade.
Awesome.
Good job.
Thank you guys for being here to discuss this fabulous book with us. Let's go ahead and get right into this. Without giving away the endings, because when we talk on Kids Talk, we don't want to give away the endings, right? So we want to discuss it with being as vague as possible and be excited about it without giving away the endings, right? Okay. Where and when did Sawyer notice the physical changes that were happening to him?
In the summer when he was at the summer house that he was staying at.
Okay. And he was going down to that beautiful lake house his family had on Lake Siesta in Portland, Oregon. Okay. So he started noticing the changes then.
Number 2, why was he late on the first day of school? What was happening? Sadler.
One of his tennis balls fell off because of his dog.
What was he doing with those tennis balls? Can you give a little more description so the audience understands?
The spikes on the back of his tail.
So you kind of were alluding to, what was one of the first physical changes he was noticing?
The tail growing.
He had a tail growing. Can you recall what kind of dinosaur he was morphing into?
I think it was a Stegosaurus.
Very good. That's right. It was a funny morning. I would think I would have to excuse that tardy for sure. All right.
Okay. What was the first hurdle Sawyer faced when he got to school? There were actually a couple of them that were kind of together. What were the first hurdles? Jackson. Yes, they use that microphone.
The first hurdles were when everyone was staring at him when he got to school and he couldn't fit trying to walk through the walkway.
The walkway of the classroom. And then when he got down that aisle, then what happened? What kind of hurdle did he have to presented itself then? Do you remember, Jackson?
Well, he was too big to fit in his chair.
That's right.
Too big to fit in his chair. That's called adapting and going with it. You have to figure things out on the fly sometimes, because sometimes one way doesn't work, right? That's a very good tip here for school. If one way doesn't work, you have to figure out another way.
Mm-hmm. Did anybody else want to say anything about those 2 issues that he was having? Any more details? No? All right, moving on. What was the name of the video that was shown the first day of school? Who can explain that? Kinsley?
I think it was called The Dinosaur in Your Classroom.
Okay. And what was the content of that video? What was it about?
It was about you having a dinosaur hybrid in your classroom.
How did those dinosaur hybrids come about? Why were they now in classrooms?
I think it's because of science work that a science lab was doing.
There was an experiment the science lab was doing. Anybody want to go into further detail? Julia?
It was about the ice cream that the scientists ate.
And what was in that ice cream?
Like dinosaur genes.
what's another name we want to use?
DNA.
DNA, that's right, that dinosaur DNA. Somebody thought it would be funny to put dinosaur DNA into the ice cream. So imagine a world now where there's regular humans and then humans that might have some dinosaur traits. That's really what I think the book is about. It's pretty interesting. All right, you want to do the next one?
Yes, and I went ahead and put some statistics down here as well because I thought it was kind of interesting. 0.0008% of the population has the dinosaur gene, and of that percentage, 15% exhibit external dinosaur traits. So that's really, really cool. That's a very small percentage. Very small percentage.
In the book. Let's clarify.
In the book.
In the book.
All righty, let's go on to the next question. What were some tips in the video about going to school with a dino-human hybrid? There were several mentioned. Emily?
Like play with them like they were a regular human being, not like be mean to them and tease them about their dinosaur DNA.
Okay, lots of respect.
And don't worry, they won't bite because 3 out of the whole teachers out of the whole school have this tranquilizer gun.
That's interesting. Imagine if teachers here at DeSoto Trail had to carry tranquilizer guns.
I'd be freaking out.
1 out of 3. Wow. Kinsley, did you have another tip?
She said it.
She already said it. Does anybody else remember? Was it contagious? Was this dinosaur gene contagious? Yes or no?
No, it wasn't.
No. And what happened if the dinosaurs got aggressive?
Mr. Schubert, it just went out. Technical difficulties. We'll keep going.
Okay. What happened if the dinosaurs got aggressive? Kinsley?
One of the 3 teachers would have to shoot them with a tranquilizer gun.
Yes. But what if there wasn't a teacher around? What was the student supposed to do? Anybody remember? I had to go back and look myself this morning.
I think it was like go ask for help or something.
Yes, go ask for help. So if something happens here at school, what do you guys do?
Go
You
ask
stay
the
calm
teacher for
and
help.
ask for help. Awesome.
Very good.
All righty.
All right, what is DNA? We mentioned that, but with Science Olympiad coming up and our focus on science curriculum this year, who knows what DNA is? Julia?
DNA is genes that a person carries from DNA is genes that a person carries from like their ancestors.
Generation to generation. Does anybody know what DNA, that big long word, stands for though? Okay.
That's hard to remember.
All right. And honestly, my did you write it down?
I did not
My
write down
contacts
what
are a
it
little
stood for. It was
Okay.
so hard to say. I'm like,
Can you read my writing?
Yes. Deoxyribonucleic acid.
Nucleic acid. All
Very
right,
hard.
that's a challenge. Go look it up and then bring it to WDTS on Monday, okay? And explain that a little bit more. Okay.
Now the tricky part is to pronounce it.
Yeah.
To pronounce it. But it does tell you. It does have the instructions to tell you who you are. And I looked up a definition this morning, and it said it makes you uniquely you. So that's why you're different than your sisters and your brothers and your moms and dads. You have traits that are like them, that are
Right.
similar. You can tell they're kind of in the same family, but you are so totally different. You're uniquely you.
That's right. What did the basketball team that one of the characters, what was their favorite basketball team, and what did they have in common with DeSoto Trail? Bryant?
The Portland Trailblazers.
Yes, that was kind of neat. We had that, our school's name was in there.
That was really
That's right.
cool.
Yep. It sounds awesome, she said. That's great.
Okay, how appropriate that this book is about bullying. We just had, in October, we had Bully Awareness Month. Reflect for a minute and think about bullying and how it's affected your life at school. It could be here at DeSoto Trail or another school. What does our school do about bullying? So first answer how it's affected your life, and then we'll answer the second part in a minute. How about Devin?
How it's affected my life is because sometimes when you're different than other kids, you can be treated different, like with diabetes, or if you have something else, like if you're smaller than other kids, or if you're from a different country and your culture does something different than what people in America do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's how people can get teased most of the time.
Okay.
Very good response.
Anybody else want to talk about how this might be affecting them? Kinsley?
Sometimes, like, there are types of people who don't like a certain type of person. Like, if somebody, like, really likes to read and just does it a lot, sometimes they get teased.
That can happen. Anybody else want to share anything personal? Julia?
When you're trying to be nice to a person you haven't seen in years, they start ditching you for no reason.
Well, I'm going to jump in and say this topic is close to my heart. We have a zero tolerance policy here in Leon County Schools at DeSoto Trail. And not just to those of you that are sitting here, but to all of our trailblazers, I want to make sure that you know people can be mean. You know, they can say mean things off the cuff, you know, randomly. That's one thing. But bullying is habitual, constant harassment. And if you are truly experiencing bullying, you need to tell a teacher, an adult, me, Miss Poole, anybody on campus, because there will be zero tolerance. We will not have any bullying. We are going to have incidents where people just say mean things and not nice to each other here and there. But if it's consistent and habitual, I need to know about it. I need to know about it regardless. You know, tell your teacher if somebody is mean to you in class so that we can handle that situation. But I'm sorry to all of you that if you've had those experiences, please let an adult know. Please let me know. We want to make sure that that does not happen at DeSoto Trail. You know, DNA, just like we were saying, it's what makes you, you. We are all unique. Good, bad, ugly, pretty, whatever. We are all who we are, and we should celebrate each other. And it's our differences that make us so unique in our world and on our whole planet, whether what country you're from, what city, what state, what school you go to, what football team you cheer for. That's what makes us unique, and that's what I want you to remember, okay, Trailblazers? And I just say thank you for sharing some of those examples, but if you ever have any more trouble with anything, you need to let an adult know, okay? That's the message. Zero tolerance, inform an adult.
Awesome.
Okay.
Thank you, Mrs. Keltner, for clarifying that. And Sawyer's mom, when he first started exhibiting these genes, she said, be proud of who you are. So that's the message. Be proud of who you are. Even if you think it might be something that you're not, that's causing you some concern, or you think people are teasing you for it, be proud of it, because it makes you who you are.
That's true.
All righty. What genes do you have from your grandfather? Since Sawyer got the gene from his grandfather to turn into that dinosaur hybrid, what genes do you have? Emily?
I'm part Swedish because because of my grandfather.
Go ahead, Julia.
I know a lot of the of animal scientific names because of my grandfather and my grandma.
Oh.
Science brain.
Science brain.
Devin?
I'm part German because of my grandfather.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. How many of you, show of hands please, how many of you have seen pictures of your grandfather? Okay, awesome. Keep your hands up if you think you kind of look like him. Dark hair. Okay, maybe the same facial features. Awesome. Okay, if you haven't seen a picture of your grandfather, I encourage you to go look. Okay?
Did you like this book? Yes or no? Why or why not? I want to hear what you thought of the book. Let's start with Blair.
I like the book because it teaches kids you don't have to be afraid. You can stand up for yourself even when you're being bullied.
Kinsley?
I like the book because it what's the word? It when to people who get bullied, it kind of speaks to them.
Stands up for them?
It says
Shows
you
their
can be who you want to be. Nobody's going to change that.
I like that. I like that. Jackson, did you have your hand up? Did you want to share? I saw it just a second ago. Do you want to share what you liked about the book? Make sure you get a microphone, honey.
I like the book because, well, I really like it because it's funny and it also has coincidences where so there was Sawyer, who was a dinosaur. There was his friend, but then another friend, Sylvie, who was actually part Martian.
That's right. Keep going.
That's really why I like the book. It was very interesting and entertaining.
Good. Yeah, that was a whole nother aspect of the book we really haven't brought up. So you have to read the book because there's like another sub-story within this story about Sawyer being a dinosaur. Sadler.
I like the book because it's unique in the way how it has hybrids and a normal, ordinary, tall kid working together to save some people who have bullied them.
I like that. Bryant, you had your hand up. Is there something you wanted to share what you liked about the story?
I like the book because it's like, I like reading fantasy. I like reading all books, but
That's great.
fantasy, what's the word? Most, I guess, because it's entertaining. It keeps going. It, like, just continues forever, and
Good.
it's always good.
All right.
That is a reader.
Yes, definitely.
Okay, a couple more comments here. Julia.
I like this book because it has scientific facts in it about dinosaurs, which I always wanted to study,
I like that. Good.
and because it's adventurous.
It's adventurous. Emily?
I like the book because it leaves you with lots of questions at the end.
I know. Which one I had?
I
Is
like
there
that.
Dinosaur Boy 2 coming out? Do you know, Ms. Christinger?
I think there's sequels.
It's already out.
I think there's
Sequel coming.
sequels.
All right, very good.
Books are wonderful because sometimes they get you excited about reading stuff in the book. You learn stuff. I never pick up a book where I don't learn something. And this book was chock full of scientific information. So if you want to connect and see what they're doing today in real life, you can actually do some research, cool word, research, and see what they're actually doing with hybrids, dinosaur research, DNA. Okay, so I encourage you to go online and do some of that research. Do you think we answered the last question there, or should we go ahead and ask that one?
What was your favorite part of the book? Oh, lots of hands. All right. Kinsley, we'll start with you. Why don't we just start with Devin and just kind of go through both rows? There's only 8, so let's just start. Or Sadler, you've got the microphone. Why don't you go for it?
Alright. I like the part where all of them team up and like make fake dinosaur parts so they can trick the aliens from Jupiter.
Ooh, that was a plot twist for sure. All right, Blair.
I like how Sawyer saves all of his friends and the people who bullied him from becoming pets for aliens.
I like that
Good
too.
guys win.
Yep.
I kind of like the part where they find out that they're all sprayed with the obedience spray.
Okay.
And then I like the part where they find out what the principal is doing to the bullies, and then they team up.
I like the part where they're trying to figure out what happened to Parker and they think that he's gone.
Where did Parker go? Don't answer that. That's a rhetorical question, but that is a good question throughout the book. Okay.
I like the part when they find out what the principal's doing, and when Sawyer is trying to fit his tail in the chair.
It was kind of funny. Kind of sad, but still kind of funny, right? Yeah, definitely.
I like the part when Sawyer, he sticks up for people who bully him. They're still people, but they've been bullying him, and I just like it that he's sticking up for everybody.
His integrity. I like that too, Brian.
My favorite part was when Sawyer really clever and came up with the idea of making fake dinosaur parts. Kind of like what some of the others were saying. Like, I just really liked it because he was really, really smart, and he came up with an idea to save his friends and even the bullies.
That's the surprising part, right?
Yep.
He saves even the bullies. Yep. But let's not give out too much at the end of the book, but you're on the right track.
From the aliens from Jupiter.
From the aliens. See, this book is chock full of a variety of action and adventure going on, that's for sure.
Yes, so if you like adventure, pick up this book, Dinosaur Boy. You will enjoy it. Our big thank you to all of our participants
Nicely done.
who
Yes, round of
participated today. Thank you, Mrs.
Thank you, Ms.
Keltner, for
Christina.
being here.
Of course.
Our next book talk is right around the corner. It will be all 4 stars, a book full of yummy, yummy desserts and foods. That's going to be Tuesday, December 6th. So if you want to participate, I'll have a sign-up sheet out soon. Okay, probably right after the holidays. So keep on reading, Trailblazers. Thank you very much for participating.
Yep.
Keep on reading.
Bye. All right.